Two tight ends, Charles, What penetration. It's a loss to the 14, a loss of 2 on the play.
Well, what's Kansas?
Catches in 52 yards with the 1st and 10. Charles bumped into his own blocker right there. That was Ja Reed. Backfield, and now Charles will join him. 2nd down and 11.
I just jinxed him.
Doesn't matter, with or without a helmet. J.J. Watt will always put his fingerprints on a game, but as you see, a flag has been thrown. Loss of 9, first sack back as it stands now to the 42.
You get the sense that Smith is so much more comfortable this year in the offense.
Davis, nothing comfortable there when you're facing 99. Watt throws him for a 3-yard loss. Back to the 48.
Well, you got to block them, right? I mean, that's the first thing. I mean, I'm not a rocket scientist, but I know that if you don't block 99, you got no chance to win the football.
Into the end zone. 1st and 10, Kansas City. Charles, that was a difficult exchange, and Will Fork and Watt are there with no gain on Charles on first. Watt got him again. He probably stumbled and evaded a possible move, Rich.
Yeah, nobody really knows what to expect from the rebuilt Rams this season.
Here's Niall Davis trying to build on that last run. Can't do much. Watt is there losing his hat again. Also Akeem Dent, who's replacing Mike Muhammad today with
3rd down.
Ja Reed, the right tackle.
Yeah, he just gets underneath him and just... Alex Smith has no chance. But this is what J.J. does. His ability to bend, to use that lower body power, the quickness, his hands. He is one of the best pass rushers in the business.
Hold on to your hat.
Awesome today. Newton. Hit hard that time as he thought about running it up the middle by J.J. Watt. And J.J. doing the...
From the 46, this is Charles Sims, the Houston native, spent 3 years at the University. Will get the ball to start the second half. Charles Sims in the backfield. Takes the handoff from Winston, and he is met immediately by, guess who? J.J. Watt.
Again, that's just such great athleticism. You're stepping down.
This is Martin. Nothing there.
You hear about that, but Atlanta's done a nice job identifying and locating him in the front, as you see Matt Ryan point out those calls up front.
Into 6 defensive backs. Ward was there. Here comes Watt. There goes Ryan. J.J. with a sack, 4th of the year. It's the 2nd sack turned in by the Texan defense, and the punting unit on the field now for Atlanta.
You just look at this low stance. He's way over in the corner of the screen there, and he's going to be working on the right tackle, Schrader. Back gets a little bit of a chip, but not enough, and he just beats the tackle around the edge.
So a 3-headed monster at running back, 1st and 10. And this is Ward, and a 1-yard loss. Watt stops him in it. Have it 1st down and 10. Ward is in the backfield. Looking for a block right there from Chester. There wasn't much. It's a loss of 3.
That was the game everyone was talking about heading into week number 7. Here's Tannehill sacked. It's J.J. Watt. Entered the day without a sack in his last 2, and that drought, little mini drought, comes to an end.
Yeah, he had been hobbled the end of the first half, but look, he's got enough to explode. Look at that arm over move, gets rid of the running back, still able to come away with the sack. I think Gray can add to their committee of running backs.
See the play selection so far in half as they get to Tannehill again. It's Watt.
Wow. He has turned it on. He just made the play on that tackle, then watch him come around. Starts at the top of your screen. He just keeps working. He outworks the offensive line.
We saw the record, 25 consecutive completions as Gray is brought down right after the play. 2nd and short, play action. J.J. Watt, boy, they tried to chip him at the last instant. Gets to Mettenberger nonetheless.
Wow. The running back tries to go at the legs of Watt right here. But look, We call that chipping the chipper. Andrew, he's supposed to be the chipper. J.J. Watt took care of him and still came away with a sack.
Only CBS. Can Zach Mettenberger put this offense on his back? He's on his back. Football comes loose. Texans recover. Jared Crick, the man who falls at it. It was Watt who stripped him. Third turnover from the Titans.
Yeah, watch J.J. Watt. Comes away with a sack, the strip, forced fumble right here. And if you're Mettenberger, you've got to hold that ball high and tight. Jared Crick falls on it, but not until Watt knocks it out of the park by creating a turnover. His ability to hit and hustle and just the
breakthrough and find some late game magic. Not on this play. Mettenberger buried again. Merciless in one. Seventh team sack for the Texans.
Both offensive tackles are struggling. Taylor Lewan here against Merciless, and then J.J. Watt against 79 Meredith. Neither guy gets their assignment done. Merciless and Watt, they're feasting on Zach Mettenberger.
The Texans to their own 30 against the Texans defense in this second half. Watt off the edge, got him! J.J. Watt along with Whitney Merciless. Another big sack.
Excuse me, Mike. He got off the ball and edged Winston in a hurry. We just said it. You have to give help to your backup right tackle against J.J. Watt in this situation. That's asking an awful lot of any tackle.
Texans quarterback has answers versus the pressure and blitz.
It's a 1st and 10. Big stop there. Watt led the charge. Loss of 2 on the run by Ridley back near midfield.
He's so fast across your face. I mean, this is going to be a handful for Giacomini today. He just does a great job splitting double teams, and he makes. Kev, you mentioned the numbers this year as opposed to last. I think we just take this guy for granted. I mean, he's such a great
nickel secondary. Watt got Ridley. He is so fast. A loss of 4. His 17th tackle for a loss of the season. One of the best numbers in the NFL.
He's just so quick off the line of scrimmage. The right tackle's got no chance. He just gets beat right across his face.
By 7. 2-minute warning. 3 timeouts. Watt! Sack number 10. Jets have got a punt.
Well, Giacomini's going to have a hard time, Kevin. We talked about that early in this game. I mean, he's just too much to handle. He just gets beat around the edge with power and strength. And Fitzpatrick's got to have a time clock in his head. If you take a second hitch against J.J. Watt, you're in trouble.
Fitzpatrick hit by Watt. Second sack today. And they lose yardage back to the 18. Loss of 6. Watt on the season's got 11.5 sacks. The punting unit is out there for the Jets.
Well, let's see what the Brickashaw Ferguson can do. Now they're going to move him around a little bit. They've got Clowney over there inside with them. And they get the one-on-one into Brickashaw Ferguson, one of the best left tackles in football.
Can get it going. Mark Ingram on first down. Penetration from Watt, shut it down, and then the rest of the blue shirts rally.
Can play the run on the way to the quarterback.
Breeze off play action. Watt gets to him and brings him down.
They actually went heavy. If you notice, this is Armstead. Their left tackle moves to the right. They're trying to do anything they can to get everybody to that side, and J.J. Watt still is able to beat 2 men. Zach Streif is trying to fight back to give help, and now J.J. Watt finally comes up with that sack.
Seen one downfield throw from Breeze successful today. It was to Willie Snead. Watt gets to him from the blind side. Wanted to go deep to Cooks. Watt got his second sack of the day.
Once again, moving him around, putting him in different positions where they think they can use him to his advantage. You see him now going up against a rookie. Tries to get that jump inside. Watt gives him the outside rip. Gives him the big swat. He's able to come up with the
13, and now Tyrod Taylor lines up. Wildcat formation, Gillislee on the direct snap, but that Houston defensive front was not fooled, and it's J.J. Watt leading the charge. They dump him for a loss of 2.
When you're missing players up front on your offensive line, you don't want to be playing against the likes of J.J. Watt. Watch how he'll just jump underneath. He's just got such a knack, and his quickness and speed in terms of coming off the ball and off the line of scrimmage.
He brings his team up to the line of scrimmage now on first down. And taken down for a loss of 1, and that's Watt right there taking down Brandon Bolden in the backfield.
Boy, I tell you what, just a little too quick for Sebastian Vollmer right off the edge. We've seen him on all sides, but you see Vollmer looking in at the football, and by the time he looks back, J.J. Watt's gone. You're in a noisy stadium here, maybe not as noisy as it could be tonight. It goes right around and makes a play. So these two defenses now.
First and 10 after the run by Cobb. And you have to think he'll get a chance after the fumble by Andrews. We visited with J.J. Watt yesterday. He kind of took us through the multiple casts that he has been over these final 2 games to see where he's at. 3rd and goal. Mettenberger's set. Football comes loose. J.J. Watt getting to him. And isn't that a familiar sight between these two teams? Texans recover the football as the possession for Tennessee ends in disaster. Just as we were talking about a little lull for Watt, comes up with the sack for Houston. Texans on the best 3rd down defense in the NFL. 3rd and 7, and they get to Bortles again. It's J.J. Watt. Late penalty marker thrown. .15.5 sacks on the season for Watt, and you see him pointing at that broken hand. First time he's not playing with that club since the injury.
Yeah, Sam Young starting at right tackle.
1st and 10. Bortles and company have had excellent starting field position, but that run by Denard Robinson going backwards. Watt and Merciless combined on the tackle.
Well, they teed off on this play. And look, they're aligned to the same side. This is how you get the one-on-one for J.J. Watt. You can see he arm over, swim move. He detaches as well as Whitney Merciless. I love the way.
And now the Jags in business. Jonas Gray, the lone setback on 1st and 10. Gray wrapped up in the backfield by J.J. Watt. Texans coming, and they sack Bortles again. J.J. Watt with his 2nd on the afternoon.
Just too much. Too much for Luke Joker. Too much for Sam Young. And they just pour in. There's Joker. He knocks down those hands since taking that cast off that broken left hand. J.J.
Bottom of your screen against Boye, who's just come in for Kevin Johnson. Bortles. Ball comes loose, and it is taken by Merciless. J.J. Watt forcing the fumble, and Merciless doing the rest. The otherworldly J.J. Watt. All he does is make plays for this defense.